Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to play Star Trek The Next Generation, A Final Unity. I believe this game came out late 1990s, I want to say 1995, 1996, something like that, and I gotta say, I haven't played this in over 10 years, so I'm kind of reliving some of my nostalgia. Because it's been so long since I've played it, I don't really know what I'm doing in terms of all the puzzles and that, but I do have a walkthrough handy in case I get stuck. Also, getting this game to run on DOSBox, very, very difficult. I've spent 2 days on it, on and off, finally got it to work, and I can't guarantee how good it's going to be, but hopefully I'll get through enough of it to where you guys will actually enjoy what you're watching. So, what is Star Trek The Next Generation of Final Unity? Well, it's similar to the Star Trek that I streamed recently, Star Trek, the original series, Judgment Rights, and the earlier game, 25th Anniversary, in the sense that it's a point-and-click adventure game. You're going to be going on this mission of a grand scale. You're going to occasionally branch off to do other things, but you'll be able to talk to your crew members. They're fully voiced by all the different actors of the Next Generation cast. You'll come across some new friends, new foes, all that good stuff. So, this is the bridge. This is the primary area that you'll be spending your time in unless you're on an away mission. Bottom left-hand corner, excuse me, you can load a new game, save, quit. There's different difficulty levels. Ensign, I believe, and again, this is from memory, I believe with Ensign you cannot choose your away teams. They are chosen for you. In Lieutenant, they are chosen for you, but you can change them before you beam down. Captain, you have to start from scratch. Now, I don't know about the rest of the difficulty settings. There's no tooltip here. There are sound levels, but if I try to turn down the voice and effects, it gets all distorted. So I used my desktop audio mixer instead and left this on full. The music, on the other hand, it does overshadow the words and the text and everything. So I just have that completely off. And there are some licensed music in this game, so I don't want to mess with that because I do monetize. There's also subtitles. You can turn those on or off. So this is the bridge that you're interacting with. I guess I'll show you the opening cutscene. You can actually see prior cutscenes by going to the turbo lift and then going to the holodeck. And I'm going to go ahead and just hit the prologue here. And this is, again, keep in mind, 1996-ish graphics.
Acknowledged.
Captain's log, stardate 47111.1. A Federation listening post along the Romulan neutral zone has detected an unidentified vessel headed for Federation space. The Enterprise is moving to intercept.
At its reported heading and velocity, the vessel will enter Federation space in approximately 47.3 seconds.
Go to yellow alert.
We have the vessel on sensors. The ship is a Garidian scout ship. They are driving their engines too hard. Their warp core is critical.
The Garidians? What is the status of their relationship with the Romulan Empire?
They are on friendly terms and may share technology. We are being hailed.
On screen.
Help us. We are fleeing political persecution. We seek asylum. We are being persecuted.
Their signal is breaking up.
What do you make of this, number one?
It could be a trick. The Garidians have earned a reputation as honorable warriors, Captain. They do not ordinarily resort to trickery.
We are within visual range. The Garidian's warp drive is failing. They are dropping to sublight speed inside Federation space.
Slow to impulse.
Warbird decloaking directly ahead. The Warbird is also Garidian. They are hailing us.
This is an internal Garidian matter. Withdraw at once.
You are violating Federation space.
They have cut off transmission.
The Warbird has locked its tractor beam onto the scout ship.
Go to red alert.
Okay, so that's the current situation as it stands. It's the very beginning of the game. So, again, you can talk to different crew members.
Mr. Data, any suggestions?
I suggest we contact Starfleet, Captain.
Okay, actually, let me go ahead and start a new game. Go to... I don't know where I am right now. I just played around a little bit. Yeah.
Captain's log supplemental. A Garidian warbird has violated the neutral zone in pursuit of a scout ship. The fugitives may be seeking political asylum, but as yet we have been unable to confirm their intentions.
Okay, so again, talk to different crew members. You can interact with the computer, which is kind of like an encyclopedia. There's astrogation, where you can set a new course. There's tactical. Some of these stations are rather difficult to mess with right out of the gate. It's something that you want to take some time, save the game, fight against something multiple times to get the hang of, because it's just not exactly clear cut. Now, you can have Worf automatically control tactical and Geordi automatically controlled engineering, should you want to just have the computer do it for you. There's a conference lounge to the left. That's where you'll go.
The room is empty.
Talk to people, assuming there are anyone there. There's the transporter, the engineering, and the holodeck. The holodeck was where we just were. Transporters, where you can go to beam down to things. Engineering will allow you to activate the engineering systems and mess around with that. There's a comms on your... there's a Starfleet insignia communicator on your chest there. You can tap that and talk to these people. So I'm just going to ask around and see what to do next.
What do you think, number one?
The Garidians respect strength. If we show any sign of weakness, it might just encourage them to fight.
What do you suggest?
Maybe we can use our phasers until they listen to reason.
I don't want to provoke them, number one. Any insights, Counselor?
The Garidian captain is torn about something, as if she were faced with a difficult dilemma.
She has violated the neutral zone.
It's more than that. I think she has a personal stake in this matter.
Mr. Worf, your analysis.
The Garidian warbird is similar to the Romulan Dideridex class. It is less maneuverable than the Enterprise, but it has slightly more firepower.
We'd both take a beating if it came down to a fight.
Our records identify the warbird as the Asirim, commanded by Captain Pintara. Starfleet intelligence rates her as a capable but unimaginative tactician.
Okay, I am going to save on a regular basis, just to be on the safe side. Alright, so I'm just going to do V. There we go.
Mr. Data, do you have any suggestions?
As long as the warbird maintains a tractor beam on the scout ship, we cannot beam its crew aboard. However, if we maneuvered the Enterprise between the ships, we could temporarily disrupt the tractor beam.
We will have to drop our shields to use the transporter.
We'll have to take that risk. Make it so.
We have broken the Garidian's tractor beam. The crew of the scout ship has been beamed aboard.
Captain, the warbird is hailing us.
On screen.
Federation starship. This is an internal Garidian matter. You've been warned not to interfere.
Your presence here gives me every right to interfere. Why have you violated the neutral zone?
They are locking their disruptors on us.
Captain, you are harboring dangerous criminals. I demand that you transfer them to my custody immediately.
Whatever crimes they may have committed, you had no right to pursue them across the neutral zone.
I was sent to bring these criminals back dead or alive, and I will carry out my orders even if it means destroying your ship.
Uh-oh.
A Garidian ship is on sensors.
Tactical. All right. So this is a little tough for me. I'm not used to it. 7 and 9 will move the ship left and right on the keypad. The backslash, whatever it is, will fire weapons. All right. There we go. Asterisks fires torpedoes, assuming I'm in range. 6 and 4 rotate the ship. Plus and minus increase and decrease your speed. I've got full increase speed right now. I'm getting hit by torpedoes. On the left-hand side, you can cycle through your phasers, your torpedoes. You can change the spread. You can choose how many torpedoes fire in a salvo, how much damage you've taken. You can see updates here. This is where you can delegate Worf to do it instead. Tactics, you can activate certain maneuvers. And then sensors, you can see what the enemy ship is doing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn around and see if I can shoot him here. Again, controls, very difficult in this game, I think. All right.
We are being hailed. We are being hailed.
Hailed?
Federation starship. This is an internal Garidian matter. You've been warned not to interfere.
Okay. Weird. Something she already told me, but okay. Oh, there she is. That wiggle, though. Holy cow. All right, let's lower speed a bit.
Captain, you have been a worthy adversary.
Uh-huh. Okay, yep, they've taken some serious damage. And you can see on the phasers tab, the different phasers that are charging. I'm just going to maybe fire from a different side. The ships don't exactly move all that smooth. Looks like they've activated their self-destruct. 5 seconds until detonation, 3 seconds until detonation.
You and I are not finished, Picard. I promised you that.
Alright. Oh, I might have taken some damage from the explosion, but it looks like I'm alright. Yeah, alright. So I did take some damage. Luckily, I do have Geordi LaForge on. He's automatically assigning various repair sliders to whatever is needed. As you can see, you just sort of assign power and repair sliders to various things. But again, Geordi's taking care of that already. Okay.
Captain, our new arrivals are requesting to speak with you. Their names are Lucana, Avakar, and Tabak.
And I could have handled that. Captain? I could have handled that better. For example, I could have talked her down, if I remember correctly. I could have talked to the people that I just beamed aboard first before talking to them. So there were multiple ways to handle that, but yeah, we'll just say that I wanted to show you tactical and be done with it. Okay, so let's just set course for the Ruinor sector and resume our patrol along the neutral zone.
Set course for the Ruinor sector and resume our patrol along the neutral zone.
Yes, sir.
Engage.
Morning, Steve. How are you? Alright, so these are people that we beamed aboard.
Captain Picard, Can you help us contact a Vulcan archeologist named Shaynok? He may possibly hold the key to the discovery of the Lawgiver's fifth scroll.
What is this fifth scroll you mentioned?
Let me give you a bit of background. Garidian society is a rigid structure consisting of two distinct classes, the patricians and the plebeians. For the past 1,000 years, that structure has been governed by the laws derived from the four sacred scrolls. The first scroll outlines our code of honor. The second describes the relationship between the military and the government. The third defines the principles of our religion. And the fourth enumerates the privileges and responsibilities of the patrician class.
But you speak of another scroll.
According to legend, the lawgiver also wrote a fifth scroll defining the rights and privileges of the plebeian class, which were not explained in the other scrolls.
What makes you think Shaynok can help you?
My studies indicate that the followers ended up somewhere in what is now Federation space. But because our governments are not on friendly terms, I could never follow up on that research. But the Vulcan scholar Shaynok lives in the Federation and has made extensive studies of our history. I believe he may have vital information that will help us locate the followers.
Why are you so interested in this fifth scroll?
I am a scholar, Captain. My interest is purely academic. Lucana, on the other hand, is a social revolutionary. She hopes the scroll will inflame the underclasses to rebellion.
How would an ancient scroll do her any good?
The patricians stopped the lawgiver before he could reveal his fifth scroll. The lawgiver and a few of his disciples, known as the followers, left Garidian 5 spaceships to start their own colony. No trace of them was ever found, and the story gradually took on mythic proportions.
Who is the lawgiver?
His real name was Avatrunai, and he was the architect of Garidian society. His 4 scrolls became the cornerstone of our entire culture. The fifth scroll could be the greatest social discovery in Garid's history. Even if you don't agree with Lucana's goals, I urge you to talk to Shaynok and help us find the scroll for science's sake.
This could be an intriguing quest. I have decided to visit Shaynok and see whether he can help you regarding the fifth scroll.
Thank you for agreeing to visit Shaynok, Captain. The fifth scroll could be the greatest social discovery in Garid's history.
Understood. We will be underway at once. I will let you know when we arrive. Mr. Worf, inform Starfleet that we will be assisting the Garidians in their search.
Aye, sir.
Computer, what are the current whereabouts of the Vulcan archeologist Shaynok?
According to Federation Archaeological Survey records, Shaynok is currently excavating ruins on the planet Horst 3.
Set course for Horst 3, Warp 5.
Aye, sir.
Engage.
On the bottom of the screen, you can see how many light years until your destination, what warp you're currently traveling. You can also jump to different destinations. This is sort of like a destination list.
Captain, we are receiving an emergency transmission from Simcoe 4.
Simcoe 4? Isn't there a research center there?
Yes, sir. The work at Mertens orbital station focuses on power generation. The researchers there are among the best in the Federation.
On screen. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation Starship Enterprise. How can we be of help?
Captain Picard, I am Daneb, Chancellor of Simcoe. We are in need of immediate assistance. Mertens orbital station has been attacked by an unknown vessel and does not answer our hails.
Attacked? But the station is a purely scientific facility.
Is the attacking vessel still present?
We do not know. Whoever or whatever they were, our sensors did not detect them.
Perhaps it was a cloaked Romulan vessel.
I doubt the Romulans would venture this far into Federation territory. The risks are too great.
Captain, you must hurry. The attack has destabilized the station's experimental power core. We don't know how long we have until a core breach, but I can tell you the resulting energy release and radiation would be catastrophic.
What about survivors? Did anyone get off the station?
The pods we detected could hold only a few dozen. There are hundreds aboard the station, including families.
Set course for Simcoe 4. I hope it's not too late.
Thank you, Captain. I hope you arrive in time.
We'll do our best. Picard out. Dr. Crusher.
Crusher here.
Doctor, we may shortly be taking on a large number of wounded, possibly hundreds.
How much time have I got?
Not enough, I'm afraid. Picard out. Miss LaForge?
Yes, Captain.
We're en route to Mertens orbital station. They've been attacked, and they're going to need immediate assistance. See what you can find out about their experimental power core.
I'll see what I can dig up, but the Simconians do some advanced work. It may take a while to figure it all out.
Then I suggest you work quickly. Millions of lives on the planet's surface may be at stake. I expect a full analysis of the situation and our options as soon as we're within sensor range.
Yes, sir.
Engage.
Okay, so we gotta wait a couple of minutes here. Even though at Warp 7, it looks like we're approaching at 3 light years a tick, so. But yeah, this game is so good. I've been trying to get it to work on and off for the last several years, and finally I managed to get it DOSBox to work with my copy of it.
Captain's log. We have arrived at the Simcoe system in response to a distress call regarding Mertens orbital station. The station was apparently attacked by unknown forces, leaving it in danger of a power core breach.
We're within sensor range of the Mertens orbital station, sir.
On screen. Miss LaForge?
LaForge here.
Report. What is the condition of the station?
You're looking at what's left of the Mertens orbital station, one of the largest research centers in the Federation. The focus of their work is on power generation. 5 years ago, they built the prototype of an experimental power core, and it's been running the station ever since.
Power generation studies? That doesn't warrant an assault like this.
I've been in contact with Starfleet headquarters. Power generation is only part of what this station studies. For several years, researchers here have been working on new ways to detect cloaked vessels.
If the Romulans discovered this, they might have risked a raid. The Simconians did not detect the attacking ship. It may have been cloaked.
That's speculation, Mr. Worf. We have no proof the Romulans were involved.
Well, whoever it was, something powerful punched through the station's shields and sliced off an entire research wing.
What do you mean, sliced off? There is insufficient debris in the area to indicate that the missing section was destroyed. It is possible the attackers simply removed it.
Geordi, could that be what destabilized the power core?
No, and that's what I can't figure out. Damage to the upper deck should only cause minor problems, but I'm reading serious power fluctuations. Maybe serious enough to breach the power core's containment field.
What will happen if the containment field fails?
I can't say for certain, but with the amount of energy that thing can put out, I wouldn't want to be around it when it goes.
Is there any way to shut down the core?
There's a fail-safe mechanism which is supposed to jettison the core automatically in an emergency.
I'd say this qualifies as an emergency. Why wasn't the core jettisoned?
The only way to prevent it is by manual override. Someone has to be there to stop it.
That means there's someone still alive in there. Data, are you picking up any life signs?
The station's shielding is interfering with our sensors. I cannot tell if any of the crew are still alive. However, life support is still functioning. But power readings indicate that it may fail at any time.
Dr. Crusher?
Crusher here.
We are nearing Mertens Station. Are you prepared for casualties?
My staff is ready to do double shifts. We can handle about 330 emergency cases, but we'll have to beam the rest down to Simcoe.
Understood. What is your recommendation?
We can't do anything from here, but to get an away team aboard, we have to find a way through those shields. I believe I have a solution. The station's upper shields are badly damaged. If we establish a lock on a transporter on the upper decks, a transporter beam could penetrate the weakened shields. Once we're in, we should be able to jettison the power core. Then we can lower the station's shields and evacuate the wounded.
Very well, number one. Make it so.
Geordi, I want you and the rest of the away team ready to go in 20 minutes.
We'll be there in 10.
All right.
Beam down coordinates selected.
All right, so because I have the game on Lieutenant, it's going to suggest an away team, but I can actually remove people if I want to, if I remember how. double click. There we go. Yeah, Worf. Sorry, Worf.
Lieutenant Commander Data, please report to the transporter room.
There we go. Yeah, with this being a technical issue, I want Data and Geordi aboard. All right, I think we are good to go. I think click. There we go. Okay, so when you're on an away mission, you can cycle through all 4, or how many crew members you have. You just click on the portrait in the bottom left-hand corner. So you can tell one to walk there, one to walk over there, one to walk there, whatever. You can also tell them to look at something, use something, talk, or to walk. So I can look at this.
I can't say I like the looks of this. Data, will we have to return here to beam out? Perhaps not. As the station's shields weaken, the Enterprise sensors should be able to establish a transporter lock. Keep me advised. I want to know the instant the station's shields begin to fail. Yes, sir.
These power surges could threaten life support. We have to find a way to switch to emergency power.
Okay, let's switch to Geordi and see what he can do from here. Transporter panel, power monitor.
It didn't work.
All right, let's move on. Let's see. This is just probably a transporter room, so there's probably an engineering section somewhere. All right, so it doesn't look like we can go to the left. Let's go to the right. And again, I do have the music turned off, and that also gets rid of any background ambience, which kind of stinks, but I mean, if you want to hear it, I guess I can turn it on on certain parts. The downside is that there's a lot of...
I've got to talk to the engineers who built this place. The entire hull is lined with a liquid titanium-duranium alloy in a memory gel suspension. It's completely self-sealing.
There's a lot of distortion with the sound in this game.
You mean the station heals itself?
That's one way to put it. The attack caused major structural damage. If this were any other station in the Federation, we'd be standing in a vacuum.
Okay. Let's see. I guess medical tricorder. Switch to the doctor.
She's got multiple fractures in both legs. The bones in the lower part of her left leg are shattered. She's in shock and there's some internal bleeding. All things considered, she's very lucky. I can take care of the worst of her injuries here, but I'd like to get her to sickbay.
Sometimes trying to select what you want is a little difficult. There we go.
I can't do anything for her until we get that cable out of the way.
Okay, fine. Alright, Data, let's see what you can do.
It appears to be a high-capacity data transfer cable. Readings indicate that this data transfer line was struck by a high-energy phased plasma beam.
This cable's built for handling information, not energy. I'm surprised it didn't just vaporize when it was hit.
Alright, so we probably shouldn't touch it. Let's go ahead and use our phaser. Let's see if we can, like, just get rid of it. Now, there are power settings on the bottom here. There's the weakest, and then to the right is full. We'll just do weak for now.
The cable has been severed.
Okay. Can we move it?
The cable cannot be moved without risk of further injury.
Alright. Can't contact the ship. I wonder if... Let's go back to the transporter room. I vaguely recall the possibility of beaming that off of her, but again, it's been 10 years, 10 plus years. We'll see. Hello, Ishwa. How are you? All right. Transporter. Select target for transporter. Data cable.
That takes care of the worst of her injuries. She's coming around now. How do you feel?
I'll manage. You're from Starfleet, aren't you?
Yes. We're from the Enterprise. Try not to move. I've stopped the bleeding and given you something for the pain, but your legs are in bad shape.
You're right. Multiple fractures, probable lacerations. I'm Anna Bennett, Chief Medical Officer. We've got a lot of wounded here, some worse off than me. How many can you evacuate?
Our sickbay can handle any emergency cases. The rest we can beam down to the planet, but we can't begin transport until we lower the station's shields.
We can't do that until we stabilize or jettison the power core.
How many wounded are there?
I can't give you an accurate count, but the first attack destroyed an entire wing. I was headed for sickbay when we were hit again.
Do you know who or what did this?
We never knew what hit us. There was an initial attack which lasted maybe 10 minutes. Later there was a hull breach and the power systems went crazy. I don't remember anything after that. I passed out.
What did you mean when you said the power systems went crazy?
It's this insane experiment Dr. Greaves and some of the other researchers put in place. A revolutionary power source. It's unstable enough to begin with. After sustaining damage like this, who knows what it'll do?
We've picked up some rather large power fluctuations. Is that normal?
How should I know? Those maniacs. You know what they've got down there? They plugged the biggest research station in the quadrant into a singularity, a black hole.
Then why the instability? I thought most singularities were stable.
Greaves came up with some scheme to increase the energy output. Something about gravity waves. I don't know all the details, but it involved destabilizing the containment field.
How are you feeling? Is there any pain?
I've been better, but I think I'm all right for now. Thanks again for your help.
What happened to the rest of the crew? I can't believe they just left you here injured like this.
Most of them probably escaped when Commander Wilde gave the order to evacuate after the first attack. But I know many are trapped and can't reach the shuttle bays.
We'll get you beamed out of here as soon as possible. Don't try to move. You may aggravate your injuries.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm aware of that. I'll stay put.
Well, then I'll trust your professional judgment. We'll be back once we've restored life support and lowered the shields.
Wait a minute. Life support is failing? What's wrong with it? It wasn't damaged in the attack.
Main power is fluctuating so wildly that it's disrupting the life support systems.
I warned them about using an inherently unstable power source, but I never thought it would come to this.
We can probably stabilize life support if we can switch to emergency power.
The only place you can do that is in station administration, and you'll need the security code to access the emergency systems. It's 334L42.
Thank you.
Anytime. Good luck.
It's dead. Power surges have disabled most of the station's primary systems. A lot of these systems are out.
Okay, use emergency systems. 334L42 access granted. Okay. Use power redirect. Life support disconnected from main power, operating on emergency power only. Life support is stable at minimum levels. Okay. So good for right now.
Looks like a power surge knocked out the holotable. I could fix it if we had more time, or if I had a flux router, I could bypass the damage completely. Amazing. It's using a plasma suspension beam to draw energy straight out of the main conduits.
What? Analysis. Subject is naturally occurring interplanetary debris. I don't think so.
Wait a minute. I had readings of neutronium hull and internal energy, but now all I can pick up are natural elements. It's sending false readings to our tricorders. It's like a chameleon. It disguises itself perfectly. If we weren't here to see it, we'd never know it was here. It could probably fool our ship sensors just as easily. This chameleon field seems to take a fraction of a second to adjust to new scanning frequencies. If I set the tricorder to randomly shift frequencies at high speed... There. I'm getting a partial reading now.
Warning, evidence of phaser capability. Okay, good to know.
Yep, it's a neutronium hull, all right, and a powerful energy source. I've never seen that much power in such a small package before.
Alright, let's keep going. Temporary shutdown. Don't think we want to mess with that yet. Plasma shunt. I'll take it. Flux router. Wave converter. Inverter coupling. Graviton probe. Pulse negator. And I guess that's it.
Amazing. It's using a plasma suspension beam to draw energy straight out of the main conduits.
That is unnecessary.
The power core could breach its containment field at any time. We have to get to main engineering right away.
Okay, that's where we are, but we've got this thing shooting a beam of some sort. Alright, core control room. Ow! Data just got stunned. Okay, well, we can't go that way for right now. How are we going to get rid of this thing? Let's analyze... Where's my tricorder? There we go.
Readings show massive fluctuations in the power level. Can't imagine what could cause something like this. There's a tremendous drain, then it cuts off suddenly and even reverses slightly, almost as if something were breathing the energy.
Severe power oscillations place great stress on the protective shielding. If the shields fail...
A core breach. According to these readings, I'd say we have less than an hour.
Well, if there is a way... Well, there is that emergency shutdown over there. I wonder if that's it. Maybe we're supposed to shut that off. Turn the power off here so it can't suck any more dry. I can try it. Alright, button. 4 lit up. Shut down group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. I don't know which group to shut down. Is there a way to determine that?
It didn't work. I'd say that alien machine cut through the conduit casing to get at the energy inside. I'd say that... I'd sure like to get a look at that power core. Readings show massive fluctuations in the power level.
Alright. Let's just shut down one at a time, see how that works. Group 1. Group 2. Nope. Group 3. That did something.
The Forge Enterprise. Did you pick that up?
We have detected a small object departing the station at high speed. Sensors identify it as a small asteroid.
You've got to be kidding.
Apparently this object is capable of sending false readings to our sensors.
That asteroid is a sophisticated device. It's using a chameleon field to send false readings to the sensors.
Interesting. The object has accelerated to warp speed.
I'd like to chase it down, but the station isn't stable yet. See how long you can track it.
Acknowledged. Picard out.
Oh wow, Data took a good hit there. He has a little bit of health left. Well, he's pretty sturdy, so that's a good thing.
You have an uncanny sense of timing.
I do not understand. Are you referring to my internal chronometer?
Huh? No, I mean your arrival is ill-timed. I cannot afford distractions right now, and here you are. It's called irony. Perhaps you've heard of it, unless it's against Starfleet regulations?
I am not aware of any such more irony. I understand.
Come now, no one's that ignorant.
I apologize for my failure to recognize your irony. I am an android, and I still do not fully understand the various forms of humor.
An android? Why not? I've seen plenty of automatons wearing Starfleet officers' uniforms.
Well, Geordi's the engineer. Let's get that going.
I'm Geordi LaForge, Chief Engineer of the Enterprise. We're here to help.
Thanks for the offer, but I haven't time to instruct Starfleet in the intricacies of singularity-driven power generation, so kindly stop distracting me.
There was a large machine of some kind on the power conduit just outside this door. What was it?
I can't imagine. There shouldn't be anything attached to the main conduits except where they connect to the distribution net. What did it look like?
It was big, about 15 meters long. It had some kind of neutronium alloy shell and was very well armed.
Neutronium? Armed? We have nothing like that here. It must have been left by the ship that attacked us. Where is it now?
It just cut a hole in the hull and left. I'll bet that's how it came in, too.
Well, that explains the damage to the conduits and the energy fluctuations. I wonder what it was doing.
Dr. Greaves, I'm chief engineer on a Galaxy-class starship. It's my job to work miracles.
Have you seen a system like this before?
I'm not sure. It looks like some kind of gravity wave power source. But how can you generate gravity waves of this magnitude?
A little something I got from the Romulans. We've got an artificial singularity bottled up down there, and by varying the strength of the containment field, I was able to increase the magnitude of the gravity waves.
But now that something's got the energy flow out of phase with the containment field, we've got to get the energy flow back in phase immediately.
Not bad for a Starfleet officer. You may be of some use after all. You see, the only reason the field's held up this long is because I've been here manually compensating for the fluctuations.
Sounds like you could use an extra pair of hands. Listen, I'll handle the conduit, you maintain the containment field.
I'll keep the containment field up as long as I can. I see you already have a phase inverter and a wave reduction converter. Good. You'll need them.
A phase inverter? But that'll just make the fluctuations reverse. Unless... if we use the wave reduction converter to dampen them, the reversal will actually work in our favor.
Smarter than you look. Install the phase inverter coupling in the damaged area. Then use the wave reduction converter to bring the fluctuations down. If I can keep the containment field up, we should make it.
Okay, so... phase inverter
I'm
first.
on my way.
Okay. Alright, so there's the damage there, right? Hole in casing. Let's see. Wave converter. Plasma shunt. That's not it. Inverter coupling.
Enterprise.
Picard here.
We've stabilized the power core. The outer shields should be lowered now.
Confirmed. We'll start evacuating the wounded immediately.
Great. That means we're done here. Beam us up.
Acknowledged.
We are being hailed, sir. It is Chancellor Deneb.
On screen.
Captain Picard, you have my warmest thanks. We had really given up hope.
We're pleased to have been able to help. Have you recovered all the pods yet?
My staff tells me all the evacuees are safe and sound. And my compliments to your medical staff. Our surgeons were quite impressed with Dr. Crusher's handiwork.
I'll pass that along. The last of the injured personnel should be beamed down within the hour.
I think we can handle it from here. By the way, Dr. Greaves personally extends his gratitude. He felt he owed you and your crew an apology.
Tell him we accept his apology. Picard out.
What are your orders, Captain?
Horst 3, I think, is where we were going. Right?
Set course for Horst 3, Warp 5.
Aye, sir.
Engage.
Almost there.
Helm, standard orbit.
Greetings, Shaynock. I'm Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Captain, how may I assist you?
Shaynock, we have several Garidian refugees aboard who are trying to find something called the Fifth Scroll. They said you might be able to help.
Possibly. I once did extensive research on the Lawgiver and the Followers. They fled into what is now Federation space 1,000 years ago, bearing the Fifth Scroll with them.
We've heard of them. So where did these Followers go?
I never found the Followers' colony, but your friends should not lose hope. In my search, I stumbled on one of the Followers' ancient ships. The logs indicated that they had found an M-class planet suitable for colonization.
Thank you for your help, Shaynock. Good luck.
And to you, Captain. Live long and prosper.
What are your orders, Captain?
Set course for the Ruinor sector and resume our patrol along the neutral zone.
Yes, sir.
Engage.
Alright, yeah. Some of those screens use actual Star Trek music, so I should probably turn the background off for right now. There we go. As much as I want to keep that on, again, some screens... That was the Star Trek The Next Generation
Captain,
opening fanfare.
Message from Starfleet. It is Admiral Redrick.
Ignore that, I don't think so.
On screen. Greetings, Admiral. What can we do for you?
Jean-Luc, good to see you again. I have a little favor to ask. Would you be interested in finding a little lost lamb for me?
I'm afraid I can't help you.
A lamb?
A figure of speech. I have a friend stationed on Marusya, an exobiologist. I haven't heard from her in quite a while. I'm getting a little worried. I'd like you to check into it if you can.
Who exactly is this lost lamb?
Her name is Dr. V. Hunforsch. She was on Marusya cataloging local species for the Federation Zoological Database, but no one's seen her for days.
Have the local authorities investigated the matter?
Constable Lixie, who runs the preserve, thinks V went on a field trip and that there's nothing to worry about.
Admiral, do you have any reason to suspect foul play?
The truth? V is headstrong, but she might be chasing butterflies. But I think there's more to it than that. And Jean-Luc, Marusya is applying for Federation membership. You could review the state of affairs there while you're looking for our exobiologist.
Very well. As soon as we receive your report, we'll get on the way.
I'll transmit it immediately. Oh, and Jean-Luc, the Marasians have a strict matriarchal society. Males are usually treated as servants at best. Don't take it personally.
Understood, sir.
Good luck. Redrick out.
Lay in a course for Marusya, Warp 5.
Yes, sir.
Engage.
So as long as there's no actual music, I think I can keep that background ambience on. I do monetize my videos, so I don't want to get hit with any sort of copyright.
Warning. Entering nebula. Entering non-aligned space.
Helm, standard orbit.
Captain's log supplemental. The Enterprise has arrived at Marusya to investigate the disappearance of Dr. V. Hunforsh, an exobiologist stationed here for the past 2 years. The 3 species native to this world have enjoyed a millennium of peaceful cooperation, and this visit will give us the opportunity to review Marusya's petition for membership in the Federation. It's time we introduced ourselves. Mr. Worf, hail Constable Lixie.
Aye, Captain.
I'm Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation Starship Enterprise. We have come to investigate the disappearance of Dr. Hunforsh.
Welcome to Marusya. As I told Admiral Redrick, I really don't think Dr. Hunforsh is in any danger. She's probably on an extended field trip.
Good. We'll need your beam-down coordinates.
I shall transmit them. And, Captain, in order to protect the animals in the preserve, we permit no weapons of any kind on the surface.
Out-of-way teams carry phasers for self-defense only. They can be locked on a low stun setting. I assure you none of your animals will be harmed.
I'm sorry, Captain. I won't allow it. We cannot predict how even your lowest setting will affect our animals.
We will respect your laws. The away team will not be armed.
For a male, you are unusually cooperative.
Is there any better way to begin a relationship?
Forgive me, Captain. I am not accustomed to seeing a male in command. I will await your investigators.
Beam down coordinates selected.
What is Worf gonna do? Seriously.
Commander Riker, please report to the transporter room.
Alright, no phasers. That's good.
Beam down coordinates selected.
Visitors for Constable Lixie. Constable Lixie is present.
I'm Commander William Riker of the Starship Enterprise. I'm here to look into Dr. Hunforsh's disappearance.
Welcome to Marusya. As it turns out, I'm conducting a little investigation of my own. I'm curious to know why the Federation allows so many male officers. Doesn't it cause morale problems?
I'd be happy to discuss that later, but right now I'd prefer to talk about the doctor.
Oh, don't worry yourself about that. Now, seriously, how do you handle discipline without a strong matriarchy behind you?
I have a feeling I'm not going to get anywhere with this conversation.
I understand if self-analysis is difficult for you. I meant no harm.
Wow. Alright, maybe Troy or Crush will have better luck.
I'm Counselor Deanna Troy of the Enterprise. I'm investigating the disappearance of Dr. Hunforsh.
Welcome to Marusya. As I told Admiral Redrick, I really don't think Dr. Hunforsh is in any danger. She's probably on an extended field trip.
Who saw the doctor last?
Apparently, Consultant Idia was the last to see her. They had dinner or some such. It's all in my report. You should be able to access it through your tricorder.
Is it possible the doctor might have injured herself somewhere in the preserve?
Of course. but our surveillance system can detect signs of distress in any of our inhabitants, and we've had no sign of trouble from the doctor.
You don't like the doctor very much, do you?
She hasn't made many friends here. She disagrees openly with our philosophy, our methods, and has even accused us of smuggling banned species.
I'd like to examine the preserve grounds where she was last working.
We'd prefer to limit the number of outsiders in the preserve while it is under construction. Investigating the doctor's laboratory should be sufficient.
It's important that we retrace the doctor's steps exactly. And besides, the Federation has requested an update on Marusya for your membership petition. If you let us into the preserve, we can make a more detailed report.
The Federation's requests are not law here. Not yet. But in the interests of cooperation, I'll open up the area surrounding my outpost. Be sure to stay within the visitors' areas. You must understand, my responsibility to the animals comes first.
I'd like to see the doctor's quarters.
Of course. Her laboratory quarters are at the end of the path towards the mountains.
The constable doesn't seem exactly thrilled that we're here. This port can accommodate an external power source to run the kiosk. I do not believe that will work. 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 A massive computer fragmentation has erased the doctor's files. The only salvageable message from her daily log is sessions with Tracker Melas cancelled. Schedule again after field trip.
Ah, cool.
Open a channel to Consultant Idia.
Channels to Consultant Idia are closed at this time.
Open a channel to Grower Enongo.
Channels to Grower Enongo are closed indefinitely.
Open a channel to Tracker Melas.
Channels open.
I am Lieutenant Commander Data of the Starship Enterprise. I'm investigating the absence of Dr. Hoon Forsh.
Greetings. I doubt that she is in any danger. She's probably just taking a vacation after her blow-up with Constable Lixie.
We found your name in the doctor's laboratory. What is your relationship with her?
I teach her territorial recognition. At least I did. We suspended our lessons after the power outages began. I haven't seen her since, but I doubt she's lost. Such an excellent tracker, even if she is a bit weak in the nose.
You mentioned power outages. Can you describe them in greater detail?
A power surge at our quarantine shelter destroyed some of the generators. 2 watchers were seriously injured and several animals escaped. Since then, we've had outages in the biotopes. They're still under investigation.
Without the generator, the individual containment fields in the shelter will not function. You would no longer be able to quarantine any animals for analysis or adaptation.
That's right. Most of our personnel are out searching for escaped animals right now. Dr. Hunforsh might be doing that on her own.
I have some questions regarding several animal carcasses which we found in the doctor's laboratory.
Of course.
Dr. Hunforsh was examining these carcasses for a reason. I suggest we perform biological and sonic scans on the carcasses ourselves.
I wish you well on your search.
A massive computer... Open a channel to Tracker...
Channels open.
This blow-up you mentioned, do you mean the constable and the doctor had an argument?
Dr. Hunforsh discovered that several animals from Aramut's second shipment were illegal species which had been mistagged. I think she accused the constable of smuggling, but I'm not sure. Healer Zolas told me the story.
What exactly are the Watchers' responsibilities?
The Watchers feed and care for the preserved species.
Smuggling is a serious offense. It would certainly jeopardize the acceptance of Marusya into the Federation.
That's why she thought Constable Lixie might be involved, to thwart Federation entry.
Thank you for your time.
I wish you well on your search.
Constable Lixie is so dead set against Marusya joining the Federation, she might have planted the illegal species herself to sabotage the petition process.
It's possible the constable felt that telling us about her argument with the doctor would arouse our suspicions. But why would she withhold information about the escapes?
As a Kujan given. Probable cause of death is massive infection by Naturov parasites. This parasite is not native to the Kujan's habitat. Subject is marked as a myocordae mole. Probable cause of death is neural energy loss. Subject is marked as a Frednorian boar. Probable cause of death is malnutrition.
I am not certain this is a Frednorian boar. I believe it may be an Akana boar, a close genetic relative. Open a channel to Tracker Melas.
Channels open.
Has Dr. Hunforsh contacted you?
No, I still have no scent of her, but I feel she will return soon enough.
I have some questions regarding several animal carcasses which we found in the doctor's laboratory.
Of course.
A creature tagged as a Frednorian boar apparently died of starvation. Do you know how this could have occurred?
Hard to say. The Watchers are quite good. I can't imagine they'd just let this happen. Maybe they were given the wrong care instructions. Or maybe the animal was not identified correctly.
A creature tagged as a Kujan gibbon died of a parasitic infection not found in its native habitat. How could this have occurred?
I don't know. The Watchers are the ones who care for the animals. Maybe they can help you.
One creature experienced an energy drain within its neural pathways. It is untagged but appeared to be a mole of some sort.
It's probably a Myocordae mole. They're quite common on Marusya, but I've never heard of one dying like this before.
Its cause of death is unusual, but not unprecedented. I have personally encountered a species that consumed human neural energy for survival. Is there a preserve animal that might feed on Myocordae neural energy?
None that I know of. Perhaps the Myocordae got caught in one of the generator power surges, but then it wouldn't be drained of energy. I don't know.
Thank you for your time.
I wish you well on your search.
Diagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. All readings are normal. Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Subject's neural pathways have been drained of electrical energy. Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Subject's genetic signature differs from its identification tag. Subject is in a carnivore.
Oh, that's very nice. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. $20 donation. Hey, Vince, I'm glad you're able to find this. It's one very cool game. Hope you have an awesome day. Take care. That's very kind. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I finally got it to work after several years of trying to get it to work. Finally, the last day and a half, with more time on my hands now, I got DOSBox to cooperate with it. Marine.
Could you tell me why Dr. Hjornforsh believed that animals were being smuggled into the preserve?
She found a Romulan creature, which is, of course, banned from import by Federation law. It was tagged as a similar legal species. She has accused me of smuggling it in order to damage our chances for Federation membership.
How do you account for the mistagged animal?
I blame our supplier, Eremat. He's rude, devious, and barely competent. If I'd known Eremat was a Ferengi, I'd never have listened to Idia's recommendation. But the contract is binding, and he does deliver on time.
Constable, I understand the Preserve has been experiencing some unusual power outages.
Those were just a few temperamental generators failing. They've been repaired. Is the Federation now concerned with our internal technical difficulties as well?
Why are you so opposed to the Federation?
Membership in the Federation would compromise Marusya's freedom of action. Some of us would rather not see that happen.
Thank you for your time.
I don't think the Constable would compromise her responsibilities to the Preserve, even to stop Marusya's entry into the Federation.
I believe the Constable. She seems genuinely devoted to the Preserve, and I don't think she would resort to smuggling, even to thwart Federation membership. I can't use this. I can't use...
Oh.
Dr. GeForce certainly has a well-equipped laboratory. Open a channel to Healer Zolis.
Channels to Healer Zolis are closed at this time.
Open a channel to Tiller Miveit.
Channels to Tiller Miveit are closed indefinitely.
Open a channel to Consultant Idia.
Channels to Consultant Idia are closed at this time.
Has anyone heard from Dr. GeForce?
No, I'm afraid not.
That's not working.
Open a channel to Tracker Mela.
Channels open.
I have some questions regarding several animal carcasses which we found in the doctor's laboratory.
Of course.
The boar's identity tag is incorrect. It is actually an Akana boar, a close genetic relative of the Frednorian. However, Akana are banned for import. How did this animal get into the preserve?
That's one of the new arrivals from the second shipment. Maybe there was an error. You know, we've had a number of minor problems with creatures from that shipment.
Has Dr. GeForce contacted you?
No, I still have no scent of...
Thank you for your time.
I wish you well on your search.
Excuse me, Constable. Has there been...
No, I'm
didn't leave anything for me. Oh, well. Oh, that's disturbing.
This is a topographical map of the biotope. The main habitats are the caverns, the pit, and the crater. It's not working. It's not working. It's not work.
Ah.
The field unit is stalled. It's not configured for this biotope. Field units are built to suit different environments, so they can travel in zoological habitats and check on the animals.
Oh.
It's not work. Field units are built to suit different environments, so they can travel in... The bioprobe removes samples from field units which collect them from animals.
Okay, so when this thing comes back, I have to use the microprobe. Alright. Boy, this takes forever. Because at first I thought I was getting samples, but turns out I'm not, so there's something else I'm supposed to do. Ah! There we go. Alright, so I have to do the same thing. Oh. Well, it looks like I got all 3.
This field unit's empty.
Okay. Thank goodness I don't have to send it back out again. Alright, let me save real quick.
This is a topographical map of the biotope. The main habitats are the 4 tunnels within that petrified tree. It's not
Boy, this part is a real slog. Holy cow. Wouldn't be so bad if the unit moved a little faster. Then again, this is on, again, DOSBox. It's possible that it should be faster, but it isn't. I don't know. Okay. Okay, I think we are good to go on that one.
This is a topographical map of the biotope. The main habitats are within the jelly corals and the water. It's not working. I'm receiving readings of unusually high ionic residue. This harmonic collector was probably set up to protect the animals by absorbing unnatural noises. These generators control the force fields which separate the animals. These are the gate controls. If you cut the power, the access ways automatically open to keep workers from being trapped inside. It's not working. It's a cryogenically preserved specimen. It's a cryogenically preserved. It's not working.
Oops.
It's not working. Excuse me, Constable.
No, I'm a...
Okay.
Subject is marked as a Frednorian boar.
I am not certain this is a Frednorian boar.
Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Subject's genetic signature differs from its identification tag. Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. All readings are normal. Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Subject's neural pathways have been drained of electrical energy. Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Subject's neural pathways have been drained of electrical energy. Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis.
Perhaps Dr. Idia can give us some useful information.
Open a channel to Consultant Idia.
Channels open.
I'm Dr. Beverly Crusher of the Starship Enterprise. I'm investigating Dr. Hunforsh's disappearance.
As I told Constable Lixie, I don't know where she is. Must you interrupt my research with more pointless questions?
I understand you're a consultant for the preserve.
Yes, I help select and verify preserved species in the biotopes. The Marusyans wanted a Federation expert despite Lixie's objections. They were lucky to get me.
You were the last person to see Dr. Hunforsh before she disappeared.
As far as I know, that's not a crime.
Constable Lixie said you felt it necessary to switch traders for the last shipment, and that you recommended Aramat for the job.
He delivers what you want on time. The constable gave me hell when she found out that he was a Ferengi. She barely tolerates me because I'm a man.
I'd like to ask you about some animal carcasses we found in the doctor's lab.
Animal carcasses in an exobiology lab? Well, that's certainly unusual.
A boar seems to have died of starvation. How could something that preventable happen here?
Sounds like incompetence to me. The Watchers blindly follow whatever care instructions they're given. No personal initiative at all.
This creature is tagged as a Frednorian boar. But tests show it's an carnivore, which...
It must have been smuggled in. You know, the Watchers have requested restricted species before and were denied. Dr. Hunforsch must have found out about it.
Why didn't you report the mistagging?
I didn't want to. I wanted the chance to study it. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Who am I to deprive science of my brilliant research on such a specimen?
So you think Dr. Hunforsch accused the Watchers of deliberately mistagging these creatures?
I think that's why she's missing. When she confronted them with the Arcana, they must have stunned her. Those stunners don't trigger the surveillance system, so nobody knows about it.
Why would the Watchers smuggle illegal creatures?
They're fanatics out to save the endangered creatures of the universe. I've suspected them all along, especially when I discovered this mistagging. You see, these tags can only be reprogrammed by a Watcher.
A Kujan gibbon died of an avoidable parasitic infection. How could this exposure have been allowed to happen here?
I'd say it died of neglect. Those Watchers don't know the first thing about dealing with animals. They're not scientists. They're glorified zookeepers. Why don't you go ask them about it?
A bioscan of a Myocordae mole revealed a severe energy drain from its neural pathways. How could that happen?
I'd say it died of neglect. Those Watchers don't know the first thing about dealing with animals.
Did the doctor express any concerns to you? Anything she was worried about?
When I saw her for supper the other day, she was talking about genetic samples from the last shipment. She knows I don't like to hear people talk while I eat, so she said little else.
But the doctor was cataloging Marusyan species exclusively. Why would she be interested in genetic samples from other animals in the preserve?
I don't concern myself with the lab work of junior scientists. Now, do you mind? I have important research to conduct.
You've been very helpful. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for wasting it.
He was pretty quick to implicate the Watchers. I didn't know they were the only ones who could replace ID tags.
Idia's accusation that the Watchers are fanatics is certainly plausible. Collectors can be quite zealous in their pursuit of rare specimens.
Idia certainly has a high opinion of himself. The thing he seemed most interested in was his reputation.
Open a channel to Healer Zolis.
Channels open.
I'm Dr. Beverly Crusher of the Starship Enterprise. I'm investigating Dr. Hunforsch's disappearance.
A Starfleet officer. I was expecting this.
Tracker Mela said you knew about an argument that Dr. Hunforsch had with the constable.
Yes, the doctor mentioned it when she asked about Aramet. He's a Ferengi who provides us with alien species for the preserve.
Why was she asking about Aramet? Did it have something to do with the mistagged animals in his shipment?
Yes, she had spoken to Zudan, one of the 3 Watchers in charge of the last shipment. He told her to talk to Aramet.
Dr. Hunforsch had accused the Watchers of smuggling. It seems the only way they could do that would be through Aramet.
Aramet has a rather unsavory reputation. The Watchers wouldn't have anything to do with someone like that. But you can ask Zudan yourself.
Did Idia know about his reputation when he recommended Aramet?
Considering how long Idia and Aramet have known each other, I would think so. Those two go back quite a while. I think Idia even came here on Aramet's ship.
Did the doctor speak with the other Watchers as well?
I doubt it. The other Watchers were at the quarantine shelter and suffered some kind of neural energy drain when the generators exploded.
What do you want?
They've been comatose ever since. Zudan's the only Watcher on duty now.
Okay, thank you. What do you want?
A neural energy drain. Would it be possible to examine their neuroscans? I'd like to compare them with the scans from some animals which suffered similar injuries.
I'll send you the Watcher's neuroscans. You can view them on the bio table, but I recommend you speak to Watcher Zudan. You can find him at the quarantine shelter.
You've been very helpful. Thank you for your time.
I hope you find her soon.
The Watchers suffered an electrical energy drain from their neural pathways, as did the Myocordae mole. It's not working. I'm Dr. Beverly Crusher of the Starship Enterprise. I'm investigating Dr. Hunforsh's disappearance.
I'm responsible for preserve animals, not Federation scientists.
I understand the doctor spoke to you about some possible incidents of smuggling in the preserve.
Yes, she came here soon after the outages, ranting away. Imagine, accusing me, when I'm the one who told her about that Bohr mistagging.
I'm getting some strange readings from this area. What sort of creature did you house here?
A 2-meter-long, 180-kilogram Sultus reptile, which came in on the last shipment. I found the Watchers next to its cage the night of the outages. It's still missing.
I'm picking up traces of a neurotranquilizer.
Aramet always doses his animals with neurotranquilizers, just like Idia. We had to feed the reptile intravenously for days. It finally woke up right before the accident, just in time to escape.
These samples have the same ionic residue as ones we found near other animals drained of electrical energy.
But there were no reports of it being seen near any of the power outages, and that reptile isn't easy to miss. Unless it's found a way to turn itself invisible, you're going to need another theory.
I examined the neuroscans of your colleagues. They've suffered severe neural damage, almost as if they were drained of electrical energy. What exactly happened to them?
I don't know. During my evening rounds, I found them unconscious next to the Sultus reptile cage. I carried them outside the shelter and was going for help when the generators exploded.
When did you last see Dr. Hunforsh?
I haven't seen her for some time. I've been busy recovering animals which escaped during the power outages. It's not easy work. The last time I saw her, I sent her to talk to Aramet.
You were the one who found the Bohr carcass?
Yes. It died just before the outages, and I wanted her to test it.
Why didn't you go to Consultant Idia instead? That's his job, isn't it?
I don't trust him. Always drugging and borrowing animals for his experiments. In the interests of science, he says. I don't know how he could have approved that mistagging in the first place.
Constable Lixie said the doctor hasn't triggered your surveillance system, so she's not in any danger. Do the Watcher's stunners trigger the surveillance system?
The system only detects signs of distress. Normal sleep does not raise an alarm. Likewise, stunners and neurotranquilizers also don't alert the system. Unlike Idia and Aramet, we prefer stunners. Chemical sedation can be harmful.
It seems the doctor's accusations were based on the fact that only the Watchers can change ID tags.
That's true, but the suppliers tag the animals first. We just match them up with the constable's shipping orders. Idia is responsible for verifying them.
Is it true that the Watchers' requests for restricted species were rejected on several occasions?
Only 4 species out of 112. Of course, we were upset at first, but once the preserve is completed, we can always try again.
You've been very helpful. Thank you for your time.
Watch your step now.
Let's get this straight. Idia selects and checks preserved species. He was the last one to see Dr. Huhn-Forsch, and he has plenty of neurotranquilizers.
Idia persuaded the constable to use Aramet, and Idia is also capable of verifying mistagged species. And he had the neurotranquilizers to knock out Dr. Huhn-Forsch if she posed a threat to him.
Only stunners or drugs could disable someone without setting off the surveillance systems. Idia has a supply of neurotranquilizers. I believe Consultant Idia is involved with smuggling rare species into the preserve.
Are you trying to pick up where Dr. Huhn-Forsch left off? She accused nearly everyone else of the same thing.
Idia persuaded you to hire a trader with a questionable reputation and knowingly verified mistagged animals. Idia also uses neurotranquilizers, which he could have used to stun the doctor without triggering your surveillance systems.
Idia's been nothing but trouble since he got here. This time he's gone too far. I'll send for him so we can settle this once and for all.
Please wait here until Constable Lixie returns.
Constable, we asked Consultant Idia to go to your office. He went to get some items, then suddenly beamed out. He seems to be gone.
He must have called Aramet for help. The Ferengi has a subspace transporter. See if you can find Dr. Huhn-Forsch.
There's a woman here asleep with a gag over her mouth. Maybe she knows.
That's her, you idiot. Wake her and send her here. And have a look around Idia's office while you're there. He might have left some evidence.
Have you captured Idia?
No. Unfortunately, he escaped with Aramet. This Federation team was sent to find you. Perhaps they can help.
I'm Dr. Beverly Crusher of the Enterprise. Don't worry, we'll find Idia and Aramet.
Forget them. We have to recapture the Mistag Sultus. It's already killed dozens of animals and destroyed several containment field generators.
You have to capture this creature before it does any more damage. Have the quarantine shelter generators been repaired?
The shelter force field will not help us. The The creature escaped once, and it will escape again.
Maybe you could rephase the force field somehow. That might be enough to stop the creature.
That might work. But the only place we can rephase the force field power is at the main power grid.
I'll go rephase the force fields.
Good. The power grid is on the other side of the preserve. Take one of the shuttles.
I hate to interrupt, but just how are we supposed to lure this creature back to the shelter?
Why don't we just channel as much energy as we can into the shelter generators?
We can't. We're using all our energy reserves to maintain the biotopes.
The harmonic collector can emit high-energy EM fields. Let's use that as the bait.
Yes, that should do it. V, I'll send one of the Watchers with you to the shelter to help set it up. If we can get the field power rephased, we might get that thing under control. I'll stay and monitor the situation from here. The energy fields are responding. Frequency phasing complete.
Constable, has the harmonic collector been arranged?
Yes, but Dr. Hunforsch needs your help with the quarantine shelter. The only Watchers I could find are needed to oversee the other biotopes.
We will be there.
Just one more thing. Zudan tells me those generators won't hold up for long, and we can't afford to send much power to the shelter right now. Many biotopes are already on reserve power only.
We will review the situation at the shelter when we arrive. Where will you be?
I'll be controlling electrical systems from my office. Then I have to call an emergency meeting of the Marusyan Constabulary to explain just what's going on.
I do not believe that will work. I do not believe that will... Have you devised a means to trap the creature?
It's all set up, but I need you to operate those consoles while I keep an eye on the creature from here.
What do you wish me to do?
The harmonic collector's hooked into console 2. Once activated, it'll emit high-energy pulses to lure the creature in. Once the creature gets here, close the gates. The controls are on
What is the next step?
Quickly, activate the container. We did it. Now what took you so long to find me?
The investigation was actually quite short in duration. Apparently your absence was not keenly felt. Constable Lixie had attributed your absence to a field trip.
She was probably still upset that I accused her of smuggling. I suppose I should apologize to her, now that I know Idia was behind the whole thing.
How did Consultant Idia learn that you suspected him? Did you accuse him of smuggling as well?
I didn't confront him. I was just looking for information. But after I asked him about the Sultas, he must have panicked and decided to drug me. I should have suspected when he invited me to dinner. He hates to hear people talk while he eats.
It appears the Watchers knew nothing of Idia's scheme to smuggle rare animals into the preserve through Aramut.
They were the ones who brought the Mistag boar to my attention in the first place. They weren't smuggling anything.
Apparently, Consultant Idia underestimated this reptile's appetite for electrical energy.
That egotist, thinking he could get away with it. Some of these animals are even from Romulan space. Did he think I wouldn't notice?
Are you certain the animals are Romulan in origin?
It would take more tests to be certain, but they definitely came from Romulan space. It's not surprising. Aramut does a lot of trading along the neutral zone.
What will happen to this reptile?
I'm sure Constable Lixie will want to send it back, unless I can convince her to keep it here. A creature like that doesn't come by every day.
I believe the captain will want to pursue Idia and Aramut. Will this incident significantly delay completion of the preserve?
It'll be a little behind schedule, but I have a few suggestions to help them speed things up.
Then it is time we return to the Enterprise. Good luck, Doctor. Beam us up.
Captain's Log Supplemental. Our successful attempt to locate Dr. Hunforsh has uncovered another mystery. Apparently, the creature responsible for the chaos on Marusya may have come from Romulan space. We are currently searching for the Ferengi trader Aramut. Despite somewhat questionable trading practices, he has never violated Federation law. Until now.
Captain, Tabak asks to speak with you.
Captain, I heard about what happened on Marusya. That creature you discovered, it sounds exactly like a Verenak, a Garidian creature. Except the Verenak was exterminated long ago.
How could a Ferengi trader get hold of an extinct animal?
I have a theory. The followers brought many animals with them when they fled Garid. It may be that this creature came from the followers' colony.
So if we learn where he got the animal, we may learn where the fifth scroll is.
I think this is a promising lead to pursue.
Captain, we've found Aramut. Our Ferengi trader should be at Jaward 3.
Set a course for the Jaward system. Engage.
Always have a backup.
Entering Federation space.
According to Aramut's flight plans, we should have arrived at Jaward 3.
Mr. Data, report.
There is no ship in this vicinity. However, sensors are picking up subspace induction vortices headed for the Nygold system.
Set a course for the Nygold system. Engage.
Captain, we are approaching Aramit's ship.
Scan the ship. I want to know if Idiot is on board.
His hull is lined with a neutronium alloy. Our sensors are unable to penetrate it.
Hail them, Mr. Worf.
They are not responding.
They are attempting to flee. At maximum speed, they will be out of range in 12 seconds.
Let him go. Let's see what he does.
Captain, the Ferengi has entered the neutral zone.
Mr. Worf, open a channel.
Aye, Captain.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Enterprise. You are in violation of Federation law. If you do not surrender immediately, we will be forced to take action.
Well then, I surrender, Captain. All you have to do is come and get me.
Aramat, your friend Idia has been charged with kidnapping. If he is on your ship, I'll have to add harboring a fugitive to your list of crimes.
And what if I am guilty, human? Are you willing to risk war with the Romulans in order to apprehend me?
Perhaps the Romulans would be interested to learn that several of the species you transported came from their space. I think I'll send them a report. You do know what Romulans do to smugglers, don't you?
What lies are you spreading, human? I didn't take any Romulan species. They were from Phrygia.
Well, if we're mistaken, I'm sure you can explain everything to the Romulans when they find you.
I am sure we can negotiate a deal, Captain Picard.
The only thing I'm willing to negotiate is your surrender, as well as Idia's.
You can take Idia, but I can tell you much in exchange for my freedom. Perhaps you'd be interested in some unusual movements of the Romulan fleet.
Mr. Data, transmit the coordinates of the brig so that Aramat can beam Idia to his new quarters. All right, Aramat, you've got a deal.
Done then. It is a fair exchange. You may have Idia and my shipping records immediately. Now, for the information you have purchased. I hear reports from the other side of the neutral zone, not that I have ever been there, of course, about a massive refit of the Romulan fleet.
What kind of refit?
They've upgraded the warp coils and added secondary power cores to many warbirds. The weapons systems suffer, of course. It may even impair cloaking ability, but they could easily outlast any Federation vessel at maximum warp.
It sounds as if the Romulans are in a race, one they want to win very badly.
Who can say what the Empire does or does not want? But a merchant always watches the spending habits of potential customers. For example, there has been a sharp rise in the price of ancient Takan and Chodak relics in sectors near the neutral zone.
Interesting information, if it's true.
I would never cheat you, Captain. Now, this has been very entertaining, but I do have other customers.
The Ferengi is moving away. Warp 5.
Let him go. We have what we came for.
Captain, the report on Aramut's shipment is in the computer. Apparently the animals which Dr. Hune Forsch thought were from Romulan space actually came from Shoniosho Epsilon 6, uncharted territory.
I'll be sure to look at that report soon, Number One.
There's more, Captain. We can check on those animals in the Federation morphology database. These creatures are definitely related to species from Garid. Shanoishu Epsilon 6, or Phrygia, as Aramut calls it, might just be our lost Garidian colony.
Be sure to alert our guests. Lay in a course for Shanoisho Epsilon 6, Warp 5.
Aye, sir.
Engage.
Alright guys, I'm gonna take a break. It's been fun. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm gonna publish. This is Vince, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.